Hey there, y'all. I'm Alex Catalina with Southern Touch Tree Service, located down here in Central Florida in Melbourne. And this is the first ever Catalina Report. This is basically service industry report. I'm in tree service. I've been in this industry for over 8 years, so I've seen a lot of cycles come and go. And I figure this is a good way to keep in touch with everybody, because I talk to people online in different regions, different states, and different industries, you know, all throughout machinery work, excavation, forestry mulching, tree service, landscaping, lawn care. That's kind of like where I'm at, is mainly like machinery work and tree service. And there's a few things I figure we'd discuss. Like I said, this is a good way to keep a hold of everybody and see what's going on throughout the US, throughout the industry, especially in these times where we might be coming into recession. We all know fuel prices are crazy, whether you have gas motors, you're maintaining these, or diesel rigs. There's a lot of things moving, especially with the housing market, where it's at. Has it peaked out? What to expect from here? These are all things that we're going to be talking about, discussing. So one of the things I want to get into is competition, the state of the industry, where we are at. With real estate obviously driving, money, with the stock market coming off all-time highs, where we are at, where potential customers are spending money, where cities and commercial properties are spending money, what we have to do to stay sharp. So first we need to address, let's start with fuel prices and the rising cost of everything, whether you're maintaining something, whether it's tires, motors, parts, things on back order. This is something that's very important. You need to be sharp on your prices. The cost of maintaining, fixing things, and purchasing things is at an all-time high. One of these machines, I actually have 4 of these right now. 2 are here and 2 are elsewhere. This machine right here, the first one I ever bought was $35,000 out the door with attachments. This one right here is $47,000, okay? That's a drastic, it's $12,000 more. Things cost more. Fuel price is more than now. I think as service industry providers, we need to price accordingly. You're in business to make a profit. We want to help people. We want to be the go-to person and help solve problems on people's properties, whether you cut grass, whether you trim trees, remove trees, whether you're doing clearing, grading, dirt work, whatever you do, you've got to be in it to be profitable, to guard yourself. Now, we want to provide these services at the best possible price for our customers. Hopefully that we can, make them a repeat customer. They call us when the time is due. But you also have to bid profitable. My company, we probably spent $2,000 last week on tires. Okay, I got a bunch of rigs, a bunch of trailers. This is nothing. This is just personal stock. This ain't even stuff that we run for the business, right? We spent $2,000 this past week on tires alone. The cost of tires is going up. It's really been up, and maintenance has been up, and we know fuel has been up. So if you're not bidding accordingly, your prices from last year shouldn't be what they are this year. With inflation, fuel prices, maintenance, you have to charge a little more. The tree that you trimmed, $800 last year, is $1,000, $1,200, $1,500 this year. Due to the cost of everything. Your chainsaws cost more. 2-stroke oil costs more. Everything, bar and chain oil. So these are things that we got to stay on top of. Another thing within the industry is competitors. There's a lot of new companies out there. I think people get inspired seeing people online, Instagram. Everybody wants to keep up, and people show flexing of starting a business and the perks that it can provide. Well, what that also did is made people pretty bold. And in my industry, anybody that can rent a chainsaw is now a tree service. Or anybody that has a push mower can go cut grass, or you can go even further. Somebody go rent a full-size Bobcat or something and think that they're an excavation company. Well, we all know this simply ain't the case. So I think when it comes to things like that, you're going to have to sell your professionality. You're going to have to sell your business and your lineage, like what you've provided. You've got to market good. Have your website, your Facebook page, Instagram, whatever it is. You have to show like the reason why you're pricing the way you are. And the work should speak for itself, you know, like you don't need to go over the top and try to do too much, but an established business is taken care of. I don't sweat upturns or downturns or competition. My work speaks for itself. I'm good. I've been in business, like I said, since 2014, over 8 years. I'm not sweating the new guys on the block. I'm trying to network with them and see how we can help, whether it's run equipment for them, trailers, trucks, big equipment. This is just all little stuff right here. So you got to adapt to the industry, especially like all the companies are, say, for example, like I'm in tree work, right? Like a lawn guy who might go, like I'll go bid a $2,500 tree. They're a lawn guy. They cut grass. Their checks are coming in. They might cut down the tree for $1,200 or $1,500. They might be $1,000 less than me. I got to be used to that, which I really am, you know. We got to show our professionality, like why we are, you know, where we're at and everything, what we can provide. So that's something just to keep in mind, that you're going to have to adapt no matter what the market. We can't complain. It's not going to, nobody gives a damn, okay? So if you're not prospering, that's your own fault. You're going to have to find new ways. You're going to have to turn over new rocks. You're going to have to market in new ways. That's your responsibility being in business. And something to keep in mind as well, coming off the hottest real estate market of all time. Like there's like some website that I follow locally, and it said the last 10 weeks in Florida, or I'm sorry, where I live in my county, for the last 10 weeks, inventory has rose 10 weeks in a row, which could signal the housing market cooling off. Well, that's a major economic factor to business. Like that's a lifeline, right? If people aren't spending money and investing, we might not have as much work. So that's something to keep in mind. Like you might have to offer new services. You have to adapt. Like if you don't adapt, you're not going to make it. Which leads me to like another point is that, like say for example, this piece of equipment right here, I just bought that yesterday from somebody who was getting out of the industry. They're starting a whole nother business. I'm not going to go too deep into that, like, you know, tell what they're doing or anything, but they're getting out of the industry. I bought some of his equipment that he's getting out of tree service. He doesn't want to trim. He doesn't want to cut down trees. And that could be due to saturation. I live in Florida. There's 1,000 companies in my county, okay? Like it's saturated. It's tough, you know? So what that might mean moving forward is that the bigger companies are going to get even bigger, and there's going to be people, I'm not saying he wasn't prosperous, I've seen him the last few years, but people are just being like, I'm out of here, you know, and that might make way and fortitude, make companies stronger that are already in it. So definitely had my eye on that. Something else I want to get into, I just wrote down a few things that are going to help me stay on topic. This is my first, you know, report that I'm doing. I just want to keep in touch with everybody. Is, you know, staying on track of growth and what to look out for. You got to reinvest. If you're not reinvesting into your business, you're not going to hang around long. This industry, things just keep breaking down. Things get rusty. There's wear and tear on stuff. You're going to have to find somewhere to reinvest. I think you should evaluate the percentages of what you're bringing in. Hopefully you're profitable, because if you ain't profitable, you better figure out a way to get there quick. But if you're not reinvesting quick, you're just not going to make it. That's like a tree that is no longer growing, or anything that's no longer growing. It's not living, it's not surviving, and it's not going to grow, okay? Your truck's going to keep breaking down, your trailer's going to keep breaking down, your equipment, your chainsaws, your mowers, whatever that you have, you need to be on the reinvesting, the up and up. Whether that's figuring out a marketing budget, Facebook ads, Instagram ads, Google, Yelp, door hangers, doing a mailing route, your projected growth is whatever you're going to put into it. The word of mouth, will forever make your business, right? I'm blessed, okay? But I did all that groundwork years ago. I'm not going to sit here and lie to you and be like, you're just going to make it, keep your head up. You need to eat shit for a while and really ground and pound to really come up. You can have an enormous internet marketing budget. That's great. The work's going to come in, but you're spending that money to get the work. In my opinion, the best way to have that work forever is word of mouth. Pass out cards. Do a great job. People are going to shout out from the rooftops if you did a good job. And that's kind of where I'm at. I already did the footwork. I didn't do it for a year. I didn't do it for 2 years. I didn't do it for 3. I didn't do it for 4. I mean, I'm talking 5, 6 years. I'm over 8 years in again, but that's how long it can take to get things rolling. You're not going to have it doesn't matter if you have a couple good months. Doesn't matter if you have a good 6 months or a year or 2 years. It's year after year after year after year that's really going to get you where you want to be. And I think anybody would agree with that. Old money, these guys that have been in, 15, 20 and plus years, they have rental houses, big equipment, the people who did it right. And you can see the people that have been in business a long time but never reinvested, they're still doing the same shit. They don't own anything. They never made it anywhere. They're working for the day rather than reinvest. So to project your growth, it's going to be whatever you want it to be. It's going to be however big you want it to be. So that's just something to keep in mind. But I'm going to wrap it up here. Those are a few topics. So those are some topics I just wanted to touch on here. If I can help in any way, comment, message, share, whatever we can do to network and talk business within the industry. Here to help. Follow me online, TikTok, YouTube, Facebook. Hit me up. Let's talk about it. Let's help each other. Catalina Report, episode 1 is out, y'all.